transfer it to the canister. The additional dimethyl sulfate to the current round of tests has resulted in some improvements. Subject showing improved circulation, increase in neural activity. Still missing something. We're unable to fully revive them from long-term hibernation. Wow, okay. We're going down farther.
What? Soldier? Something's... Oh, no visitors allowed, citizen. I'm gonna need to see some identification. Let me guess. She's still holding the catch-up. We've talked to her before.
Let the record show that Subject 23K's cause of death is cerebral vascular incident brought about by a ruptured aneurysm.
That's an 86% failure rate.
Yeah, this is definitely how I got in here.
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right, you weren't here when it happened. Some UDL officers took him into custody.
Oh, law, what did they take him for?
UDL's been questioning anybody with possible connections to Phineas Wells. Then, well, Tillman designed all those wanted posters.
So UDL's interrogating Tillman? Ugh, that's disgusting. Can't believe I had lunch with the guy.
Alright, gotta go to see Phineas. Okay.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge?
Sure.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern.
Battery levels are fully charged.
Good work, Sam.
Customer, all cleaning tasks.
You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career.
I mean, stumbling around the colony pretending to know what I'm doing?
I think you're being modest. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed.
Well, you know.
All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky.
You almost sound like you approve.
Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony.
How do you know I'm from the Hope?
You haven't exactly been keeping it a secret.
That's true.
We raised security on the Hope after Wells broke in. As for discovering the identity of the missing colonist, all we had to do was scan the passenger manifest.
Surely you didn't bring us all this way just to flatter me.
You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate.
Your people need better security. Anyone could have lifted those chemicals.
I'm not here to talk about stolen chemicals. I'm after something far more valuable. Your cooperation. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us.
Wanted for what, exactly?
He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal.
Hold on, we're getting a lot of noise on this channel. Could you never call back?
You are making a serious mistake.
Maybe.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain?
Let's get out of here.
We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself?
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me.
Forget about the chemicals, but the colony's on the verge of collapse.
What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation.
It gets worse. They're planning on freezing every worker in Halcyon.
Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse? And the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause.
True.
That makes 2 things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved.
Find your chemicals.
Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board.
These are all I could get. Any more and I would have killed the other subjects.
Damn, that's not enough. Not nearly enough for the whole ship. I could revive a handful of settlers. Maybe, possibly, 10. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers.
There has to be something we can do.
Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope.
Well, there's a way, but it's not really safe. We could skip the Hope in.
Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab.
Hope's probably damaged, but we could route power from the Unreliable.
Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive. How's our bitty little ship supposed to skip it?
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest.
Experimental methods for killing noxious life forms are not covered under this unit's limited liability agreement.
Well said, whatever you want. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
I have some questions.
Certainly. How can I help?
People aren't going to notice a giant colony ship ramming into the rings of Terra 2?
Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
And you know, skip drives don't work like this.
Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Should I expect resistance?
It wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny.
Alright, I'm ready.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it.
I want to talk about the Hope.
Certainly. How can I help?
Nope, no, we already covered everything. Later, nerd.
If you stopped in the engine room,
No,
would you ask Parvati to send...
I will not.
We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive.
You got it.
The
Tell me
Hope
about the
is
Hope.
the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold.
What was I doing again?
Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship to the... You'll have to...
What happens if I skip the Hope?
If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra too.
Okay,
Or the sun.
sounds good.
If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side. Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering.
It's one big damn ship. What's the status on power? Okay, engines, nav, comms, security. Longest trip Dawn ever took was a week-long sojourn to the Silver Mountains. Even that set her on edge. She's a homebody, always was. She packed so much food that we would have stranded out on rocks for a month and we probably would have been just fine. UDL says this on a team-building seminar in the city once. They paid for everything. Donna still packed nutrient bars just in case the bus broke down. It's going to take this ship 10 years to reach Halcyon, an entire decade. It's a good thing UDL provided the rations, else she might have dumped our life savings into mixed nuts and freeze-dried meat. What is it, folks? Say goodbye to old Blue. If anyone wants to. Good riddance. Why so bitter, Razy? She's been a good home. Give me a spaceship any day of the week. We'll see how you feel in a week. Or in a year. Well, we'll see how I feel a year in. So a moment of silence, or should make a toast. Anything feels weird leaving Earth in the rearview mirror. From now on, we only look forward.